This is a presentation of 18 WJTS Sports. Jasper Wildcats versus the Evansville North Huskies. This game is brought to you by
Carpet Warehouse, Master Brand Cabinets, DuBois County Tire and Supply, Maringer's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, DuBois County Garage Doors, Ubilar & Sons, McDonald's, Big O Tires, Westside Dairy Queen.
Now let's go down to the field.
Welcome to Bundren Stadium here on the campus of Evansville North High School. Tonight, the Jasper Wildcats in their third straight road game are against the Evansville North Huskies. The Wildcats at 5-2 against the Evansville North Huskies at 5-2 as well. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider along with Bob Welp and Jeremy Markos on the video. And Bob, now we are in basically week 3 of this run that we talked about pretty well all season at the Wildcats. And, it started with Evansville Central a couple weeks ago and at Castle last week, and then tonight, Evansville North. So it's not been a very good start for the Wildcats during this run. We lost the game against Central 24-17 and then came up short against Castle 14-10. But we're taking on an Evansville North team that is also coming off a couple losses, probably more unexpected from their standpoint, losing to Evansville Mater Dei 29-14. And Vincennes-Lincoln last week was kind of a surprise. They lost that game 21-13, considering that they got their quarterback back for that football game, and that is their number 5, and you'll see him on the field tonight, Ethan Brody. And he's a 5'10", 185-pound junior, and on the season he's passed for 761 yards and 7 touchdowns. And actually last week was 18 of 29 for 193 yards. Did not score or throw any touchdowns, but he had 2 picks that I think were critical in that football game. So you got your quarterback back. They got a really good running game with Presswood, number 28. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards already this season and 13 touchdowns. So offensively, Cats are going to be facing a lot.
Yeah, I've been really trying to put my finger on the North game tonight, when you're driving around today and thinking about what to talk about during there. It's how they went up to Vincennes and got beat. From the games that I've seen earlier in the season, I know they got their quarterback. Maybe he was a little rusty. Who really knows? I really didn't see that going. But you've got 2 teams here that's coming in with 2 game losing streaks. This is imperative for Jasper. I look for a big win against Vincennes next week, senior night, being at home. And then, of course, everybody getting fired up for the sectional draw that they had last night and looking at Central at Jasper in that first game. But North, they have the speed. They have the Evans kid, 2.0. This guy can really get to the outside. Watching him in warm-ups, sitting up next to the quarterback, doing a little handoff coming out of the shotgun. About every play that I've seen other than one, he was cutting it up between the end and the tackle like Jasper did their old power. So Jasper's pursuit tonight on defense must be there, but they cannot overrun because this guy was able to stick his foot in the ground and change directions in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Capolton Presswood. He's got that running back size, too. He is a senior, but he's 5'9", 185 pounds, and just, a real solid, quick running back that's got the ability to go north and south, but he can also, get to the outside as well.
Yeah, they were taking their tight end, their strong side, and even their wideouts on that side, and cracking them down and trying to get some back picks, some crackbacks, what we like to call them, on our linebackers on the far side and our defensive backs, just to try to get him to the outside, because just like Evans in Central, if he gets to the sidelines and there's no black and gold over there, forget about it.
Right. Yeah, and the Wildcats, last week offensively, 60 offensive plays for 234 yards, but the big thing really, when you take a look at the offenses, that we finally got a passing game going along. Blake Mann was 17 of 15 in that game for 88 yards and a touchdown that he threw to Caleb Berger, and spread things out among Jack Albrand with 3 catches, Berger a couple, and then also Connor Foley. And, so I think that's really important that we've just got to be diversified in our offense again tonight.
Well, you and I had talked about it just when we were bringing the equipment up, walking down on the track, and you see Foley walking on the sidelines right next to us. It's like, man, this guy is just, he's big, he's strong, he's got big hands, which is what you especially want for a tight end, that once you get those mitts on there, you can't get them out. So if Jasper wants to move forward deep into the tournament, they are going to have to throw in some passes in there just to keep these linebackers from stunting the middle to take away Dawkins on the dive or man getting to the end.
And that's the other thing, too, with the Wildcats is that I think that you're going to have to control that line of scrimmage because when it comes to North's defense that, on average, I know the last couple weeks gave up 29 points and 21 points, but prior to that, a couple of shutouts that they had, but they've got a defensive tackle, and he's a plug up the middle, and that is number 61, Sales, and he leads the team with 38 tackles and 10.5 tackles for loss, and so he's a kid that I think really gets after it on the football field.
Size and speed, just as a coach, the type of player that you want in that particular position. When listening to some of the interviews this week and listening to the North coach, and his biggest thing right in their 2-game losing streak was defensive communication. He said we weren't talking. We had too many guys in the same position. The ball would go to the outside. We had too many guys in the middle. Ball would go in the middle. We had too many guys from the outside. He wasn't happy with their communication at all, and that was one thing he was going to stress. So if you can have the big fella that you were talking about handle it on the inside, that should open things up for their rover linebackers.
All right, so North comes out, and they will be kicking off to the Wildcats, of course, coached by Tony Lewis in his second year, 11-6 now with his record at Jasper. And taking on the coach for Evansville North is Joey Peridian. And, he had some outstanding success. He coached at Wood Memorial for a couple years, but then moved on to Eastern Green, had 3 big seasons, 8-3 one year, won a sectional the next year in 2016, then 2017 took that team all the way to the state championship. So he's just trying to build the program here at Evansville North. Went 1-9 in his first season in 18, then last year was 5-5, and again this year started out 5-0. Right now at 5-2 as they're getting set to kick off to the Wildcats. So we'll see what type of strategy they take, if they're going to boom it deep or, like a lot of teams have been doing all season, is a little bit more of pooch kicks and squib kicks and that type of thing to try to prevent that big return to open up football games.
Well, I tell you what, you try a pooch kick right now, kicking into the wind like that, it's not going to travel too far. Jasper needs a big turn right now.
All right, so they do that, and they pop it right up there, so the Cats are going to have to field it, and immediately met there right at the 40-yard line, so it's outstanding field position. We'll take it. Not much of a return opportunity, and again, we'll do our best with the numbers. We are actually high up here, in the stadium stands. We're actually setting up outside again tonight, and it's a beautiful night, a little breezy up here, so if you hear a little bit of wind noise in our microphones.
Well, we're actually
it's
about
not Bob breathing heavy or anything, right?
We're about 10 feet above the goalpost and let people know actually how high we are.
Right. Okay, so the Wildcats will get it 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line, just underway here. Evansville North against the Jasper Wildcats.
Evansville going with a 3-man front. That's going to be there all night. 3, 4, 5 yards a clip. If they run a 3-man front and their linebackers do not come up and react quicker than that, Dawkins could have a lot of yards tonight if man gives him the ball. And it may not be 10, 15 yards at a clip. He could have a lot of yards just because he's going to get a consistent amount tonight with a 3-man front.
All right, so 6 yards on the carry, 2nd and 4. Cats need to get to the 50 for the first down. Berger comes in motion, and Dawkins gets it again, so 2 quick carries there. And we talked about him, Gage Sales, 6'1", 260-pound senior defensive lineman making the stop.
Absolutely great job of coming off that corner with force. But the problem is the white shirts never touched him. And you get somebody with that kind of talent and you don't put any opposition, boy, he's going to make the life really hard running to that right side.
So the first 3rd down situation for the Wildcats, 3rd and 2.
Man's got an opening on his right side.
And he's actually going to take it there. It's our right side, the quarterback's left side, and he may have got that first down. They're actually going to mark it right on the 50-yard line. So we'll see if they wave the chains or not. Yes, they do. 1st and 10 for the Cats.
Boy, they had their middle defensive lineman right up over the center, and he was squeezed up to Blake Mann's left, and he had a gap on there. And I've seen several plays this year where he's tapped the center on the rear end and went up those gaps. He does that with his speed. He's 4 yards down before a green shirt touches him.
Mann keeps it, dances to the outside, and is met there in the backfield. Number 2, Brody Tishner comes up and makes a play.
Just bringing the heat from the outside by the green shirts. No white shirts there to lay anything on him, and Mann was a dead duck.
All right, so very little gain, if any. They'll call it 2nd down and 9. Cats just briefly into North territory now. First drive of the football game just underway, 9:52 on the clock here, first quarter. Dawkins to the left side. Look at that move. And he's going to be able to get to the outside a little bit and gets across the 40. So a nice pickup of 10 on that 2nd and 9.
It's so impressive week in, week out to see 213 pounds be able to move from side to side like that. I know he doesn't do it a whole lot because he likes to go north and south and drag 2 or 3 guys with him. But when he does do it, boy, it's a thing of beauty.
He had 16 carries for 68 yards last week. On the season, he's got 681 yards and 6 touchdowns. So just behind Blake Mann, who leads the team in rushing with 775 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Well, if Jasper is going to put the ball in the air, this would be the drive to do it, in the sense that we're going with the wind instead of against it.
Well, he's looking for Foley there, but now he sees an opening to the right side and plenty of running room. He's still going across the 30 to the 20. They're going to call him out of bounds at the 22-yard line, so a nice pickup of 17.
Well, he did have some receivers about ready to come open, but when you look up and you see 15 yards in front of you, and there's just absolutely no green shirts, with his kind of speed, he'll gobble that yardage up in a second. And he was able to move the chains and keep Jasper moving on this very important first down series.
So the quarterback scramble sets up the Wildcats, 1st and 10 from the 22. Dawkins on the right side this time and is met right there at the 20-yard line, then plows himself to the left side and able to pick up. I think he's inside the 20 to the 19, so I'll pick up a 3.
May be the most impressive 3-yard run he's had. He got stuck pretty hard right there at the line of scrimmage and was able to lean a little bit and drag the defender with him.
So as you see, North with a 3-man front, basically have about, it looks like 5 linebackers. They kind of set up their outside linebackers a yard or 2 off the ball. As Mann, now he gets the ball stripped away from him, and North picks it up. So
just an absolute killer.
Big play there. Looks like, I think it's number 3 who picked that up, TJ Hankins, if I'm seeing it right. Again, North's got the green numbers on their green uniforms, so all you really have is the white outline. But yes, that was number 3, TJ Hankins, coming up with that football.
You know, they could have even called his forward progression stopped. I mean, they were moving him back, but man, we got to get away from putting the ball down on the carpet.
All right, so the Huskies are underway now. Quick pitch out to the outside, and he's able to actually get away and make a move there. I'm actually going to probably have to watch the monitor a little bit more and try to see some numbers here. But so again, their quarterback is Ethan Brody, number 5. Quick pitch to the outside. I couldn't tell if that was Presswood that he went to on that little quick screen or not. But anyway, it goes for 5 yards. Now it's coming back the other way, and Cats have to quickly come up and make that play, including some help from number 16, Ian Giesler, but he's able to hit number 11, Jules Haley, on that play.
You know, it's one thing that's always kind of confused me when you see the flags come out for defensive face mask, but when they give a stiff arm out there and they get up in the defensive player's face mask, that flag should also fly.
A low snap, and the quarterback is on the ground there, so that's going to be a loss. So that's going to force them to be in a punting situation here from the 25. So that's about a 5-yard loss. And so their spread punt team's going to have to come out.
When you're a team like Jasper that comes out and they fight as hard as they did on that first series and they get down, they put the ball down on the carpet, just like in last week with Castle, Jasper was driving for the lead, and then we had a couple of penalties dropped us back, and then Castle did the same exact thing. You've got to take advantage of your situations here, and Jasper's just not. They're just putting the ball down on the carpet is just aggravating, as many times as they've done it this year.
A low helicopter punt there. It's going to get a nice north roll. Will set at the 41-yard line. So again, really good field position for the Cats here. So no opportunity for a return there. 6:52 on the clock, no score. Jasper's first drive ended in a fumble, recovered by North at the 23-yard line. Then they basically went 3 and out with a bad snap on third down, so they were forced to punt. So neither team really able to obviously not come up with points. Jasper moved the football because they started from the 40-yard line on their first possession.
Well, this just boils down to Jasper has to quit being their own worst enemy.
Again, that was a problem in the second half. Had great field position as the Cats are there, and that's actually Dawkins with the run there. That's Luke Dawkins, number 14, playing a slot position again tonight. So he gets some nice yardage there, a gain of about 11 yards. So a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 48.
He did a nice job catching that ball. It was, a little 2-yard, flip out, and everybody's seen Jasper do it this year, but they have got such a strong wind coming from the backside. You can actually see the football move a little bit, and in mid-stride was able to adjust himself, get the ball, and rack up a first down.
And that's a situation. I mean, the Wildcats got the wind at their backs right now. Berger takes the pitch on the power play.
Nice
He's
job.
Still trying to look at he's stiff-arming him. It's not going to gain much, but that could have been for a loss of about 3 or 4 yards or so. So he's able to at least gain a yard on the play, maybe 2.
Well, they had him dead to rights twice behind the line of scrimmage, and he was able to fight and get positive yards. I was really, you like to see him go more north and south, but, you got to say in that particular situation, he did exactly what he had to do because everybody was coming up from the backside.
Yeah, when you talk about diversification for the Wildcat offense, also trying to get some of the other running backs involved. So far in this drive, we've seen it with Luke getting a run, then also Caleb. Now there's pretty well your bread and butter, giving your quarterback some room to the outside, and that's Blake Mann who's going to rush for a first down there.
Yeah, they're still doing, with their outside linebackers, they're lined up where a defensive end would be other than the fact that they're a yard and a half back. They're whole 6 in the middle. I mean, it's almost a perfect square, and they're letting the 2 linebackers on the outside just kind of float around. So when man goes to the outside, since they're so far out, their angle, hopefully there will be no opposition trying to get the man and bring him down.
All right, so we go back to Lance Dawkins on the left side. Not much running room there.
But Jasper doing a nice job of mixing things up. Now, when they hit Berger to the outside with that quick pitch, I don't know if I was just sleeping in all these games, but this is the first time I've seen him actually do that quick pitch. Usually it's the end over end option pitch out. But just another little wrinkle that some team in the tournament may be watching tape and seeing that and make them kind of set their defense up in a different way.
All right, so the Wildcats with a 2nd and 9. You see the ball at the 37-yard line. The option's coming our way now. Good job getting into the backfield. And I think that is 3. TJ Hankins, who actually recovered the fumble on the last possession, and he made a nice play there and read that the entire way.
Well, man's seen the contact coming, and he really had no option other than to eat the ball. Because when he came up, when number 3 came up to make the contact, he could have did the old stretch out, but as we've seen in the Central game, if he's in the middle of stretching out and to flip that ball out and contact hits at that time, that's an easy pick up and 6 points the other way.
All right, so 3rd and long here. Man, plenty of time to throw right now. Now he's going to zip it down the field. Wide open is Berger, and he just missed him. Oh, boy, he kind of sidestepped into that throw and so threw it more into the middle of the field, but Berger was just camped all alone over here, and man was not able to connect.
Well, Berger did a real nice job of running his route and then looking back and seeing a little bit of pressure by man, and when the quarterback rolls out, the receivers They should stop their pattern at that spot, and and just roll back. And like you had said earlier in pregame talk, it turns out to backyard football and just get to the open spot. Berger was there; he just missed him.
All right, so Mann's out there to punt. Now he's wanting to throw the football, and he's just going to have to throw it away. He had Berger again, but he was hit again by number 3, TJ Hankins. He is so far having an outstanding defensive battle tonight.
Well, their defensive tackles are time and time again winning the battles with our offensive tackles. We're going to have to figure something out. If we're going to roll him to this side, maybe we bring Foley over to the strong side, to where if they try to come to the outside shoulder of the tackle, we have our tight end slamming them down.
So the Wildcats possessions in on a fumble and then a failed fake punt there. So 1st and 10 for the Huskies from the 40-yard line. 4:18 on the clock, no score yet.
Here we go.
All right, so they get it to the number 28. That's Capolton Presswood making a play, so he's able to pick up 4 on that first run.
He's a pretty decent put-together guy. I mean, 5'9", 185 is a pretty good package. But when we made contact with him, we kind of bounced him back a couple of yards. He may not be too durable towards the end of the game if we keep getting hits on him like that.
Tell you what, though, last week put up some big numbers, 210 yards against Vincennes. Now they actually pitch it. That's a backwards pitch there.
Nice.
But spin move, and good job by number 11, Jules Haley, to basically avoid a loss on the play. So
we've got, I think it's Ashton Sheeter kind of bouncing up a little bit. Looks like he's going to the sideline. Got kind of rolled up on there. That's a painful, painful thing. You do not see those coming at all.
All right, so North facing another 3rd down situation here. Went 3 and out on their first possession. Quarterback rolls out and tries to run it there, but a good job by the Wildcats to close that up. Trying to see the number who made the stop. Actually, number 24, Beekler, making a pop on that play. So no gain, and North's going to either, looks like they are going to send their spread punt team out there.
Yeah, nice job tackling, bringing him down. But Foley's the one that got to the outside. He wanted to kind of bounce it out and come out by the numbers. But Foley was able to get to the numbers first, turn him back upside, and that's where his buddies were there to help pull him down. Catch the ball.
All right, so a better punt this time, and it's actually towards the sideline. So
well, we got a good bounce there, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, if it hits the wrong way, you can lose 10 yards in the snap of a finger.
At the 27-yard line.
all right, so the football will be spotted at the 27. 1st and 10 for the Cats. Still no score on this game. North had to punt their first 2 possessions, and the Cats with a turnover and try to fake punt. So far, nobody been hurt when it comes to anything on the scoreboard right now. So,
well, Mann's, when he's had the opportunity to put the ball up in the air, now he's had a little bit of pressure, but there were some guys that were wide open. He needs to get the ball a little bit closer, and hopefully they can make a play.
all right, so a run to the right side. And the pile continues to move.
You know, when you see the pile move like that, you know Dawkins is under there somewhere.
So Lance will pick up 5 yards.
Well, overall, Jasper's done a pretty nice job of getting us into, when we get the 2nd and 3rd down, that we're sitting in sharts. I mean, right now where it's, 2nd down and 5. We're doing a great job. We're winning the 1st down battle. We just got to quit shooting ourselves in the foot.
Berger in motion this time, but they give it to Dawkins on the right side, and he's going to get the 1st down yardage necessary, so he picks up 6 there.
There's a old way of thinking out there when you talked about the defensive tackle, Sales, I think it was, for North. Sometimes there's an old way of thinking that in order to attack it, you don't run away from it, you go straight towards it. And Jasper sent a double team towards him that time and handled him pretty nice, and Dawkins was able to get the 1st down.
All right, we still got 1:24 on the clock right now in the 1st quarter. Dawkins will get it straight up, and Just a pile of Evansville North Huskies there to stop that play, including number 61, Sales.
It is amazing to me right now to see the front three for Central, because on that particular play they had the nose guard over the center and the other two guys on the outside shoulder of our tackle. So you had some big gaps sitting between the guards and the tackle. But they were able to move that line in the lines going to the right side because that's where Dawkins is going, and they're able to stay with their blocks and get up and finish.
All right, so this time they pitch it out. Now that's Luke Dawkins with the football. And he's able to pick up about 3 on the play.
Well, this is a very interesting game plan that Memorial's coming up with. And they will be able to pull this out throughout the night, or pull this off throughout the night, if their front three can continue to wreak havoc the way they are. Because they're just taking their 5 linebackers and just shoving them up there to the outside, taking away our pitch, trying to take away man to the outside.
All right, so the Wildcats are going to let the clock run out. So we got 5 seconds there. And when we come back, football will be spotted at the 43-yard line. Now they're going into the wind. And we'll be facing a 3rd and 4. So when we come back, Cats will have the football again on 3rd down here on 18 WJTS. All right, we're set for quarter number 2. Cats facing a 3rd and 4.
Bringing the linebackers up.
Little play action there, and now man keeps it though. And
almost looked like a little confusion.
Yeah, it looked like either he missed the handoff there or if they were just trying to throw the defense off. But again, getting in the backfield was TJ Hankins. He was able to get some penetration there and kind of disrupted that play. So the Cats forced a punt here again.
Well, it doesn't look like North, unless they drop their 1 deep back, really think that Jasper's going to put the ball off the foot here.
Play clock down to 2 seconds, so Cats using every bit of it. Man gets a punt, and the return man's trying to make a return. He actually fields it right there at
Good
about
coverage.
the 18-yard line, but a good job by Caleb Berger to make that stop.
Well, Berger's done some nice things so far early in this ball game. His 2 routes, he was open. He was able to get open by breaking off his route because man being under pressure. So he did the right things there, and that coverage, that tackle right there on their punt coverage was outstanding. Too many times you see the ball hit the turf, hit the guy from the opposing team, and then all of a sudden they're just gone. Caleb did a real nice job of bringing him down.
All right, so Presswood sets up in the backfield, brings a man in motion. They hand it off to him, so looks like that was Jules Haley, number 11, getting the carry. Now check that. Nope. Jalon Mitchell, number 8.
Well, they brought Lowe from the backside on a pull, and he did a nice job of kind of taking our defensive end and burying him. Good thing we had some pursuit because it looked like that there was going to be some turf open up. Jasper did a nice job of closing it quickly.
All right, actually Presswood gets the football and he finds some opening to the outside and is able to rush to the 34-yard line. So a pickup of 8 yards there, and it'll be a 1st down for the North Huskies.
Prime example of him planting his foot and changing directions and then getting north and south in a second. A lot of speed stays in that boy's body. Man, he's fast.
Actually noticing on the football field tonight, Andrew Wallace, number 72, out there playing a defensive end spot. I know that he's been out of action for the season so far up until tonight, so it's good to see Andrew getting some time.
The more bodies towards tournament time is always a plus.
All right, so a fake there and a quick pitch out to Mitchell, and Mitchell is going to get the 1st down yardage. So a quick 10-yard pickup on that play.
Nice job by our defensive backs to stop it from being a big play. However, when you are sitting in that position and you are taught to kind of peek into the backfield to see what the quarterback's doing, especially if he stands up with the ball in his hands. But when the receiver that you're guarding man-to-man does not move from the line of scrimmage, there's a pretty good chance the ball's coming out to a wide receiver screen.
Presswood gets it to the right side. Now can move straight up in the middle. Makes a nice little shifty move there, and Presswood's starting to heat up a little bit as he picks up 13 yards.
North is starting to take their linemen and starting to slant them down, almost like you would see a defensive line move. And he's doing a really good job of getting to the outside, seeing the defensive back step up and then planting his foot and getting going.
So Brody now sets up Presswood on the right side. Now he's going to give it to him on an outside sweep. And he cuts up field there, gets across the 40, down to the 36-yard line. So the Presswood is now loosened up and maybe took him a quarter, but he's looking pretty sharp so far, and he's actually looking to maybe come out of the game right now. Actually, he is, so they go ahead and put Jules Haley in for him.
You know, he goes ahead and he gets 7 yards there, but he had to run about 15 before he could plant his foot and go up, but he's so gosh darn fast. Looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with his gloves out there carrying the ball.
All right, so 2nd down and 3. Brody's actually got Mitchell set up in the backfield. Now he puts him in motion, and North calls a timeout. So first timeout called in the first half here, so we'll take a break. 8:54 on the clock. No score yet here at Evansville North. The Wildcats against the Huskies here on 18 WJTS. So 2nd down and 2. Ball's resting at the 36-yard line. Presswood's still out, so Mitchell lines up as a tailback with Brody in the backfield there. Again, I think they're trying to run the same play they did before as a quick screen out there, but we had some movement on the offensive line, so.
Well, the one thing that we're not doing when they're rolling their man in motion or their back, we're not bringing our safety over. And if man doesn't get over here quick enough, we've got 2-on-2 with a guy with all kinds of moves in the open field. So man's got to come up there and help a little bit.
Yeah, because man right now he is about good 12 yards off the ball.
Which I don't understand because I've watched the quarterbacks. I haven't seen them throw it real deep.
They're going to try it again, but this time he's not able to handle the pass. So kind of was looking upfield before the pass got there. So now Mitchell's going to have to give up as Presswood comes back out to take that running back spot. So they'll move Mitchell, I think, back out to a split in or a slot position.
The one thing I have not seen from North this early in this game is them trying to move the ball vertically in the air. You would think with the wind at their back right now, this would be the time to do it, but it's kind of like seeing Memorial and Wrights and all that. It's just screen, 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 screen.
Right. All right, so a 3rd down situation here, 3rd down and 8.
Jasper bringing pressure.
Presswood, no, actually Brody kept it, and so the Wildcats did not fall for it. Thought everybody be keying in on Presswood coming back onto the football field, but Brody's actually not able to get anything on that play, so it's a 4th down, and they're going to punt again.
Well,
so
Jasper didn't. Even if they would have came to the running back to the near side here, he was there. We had plenty of defenders there, and then of course we had our initial guy being able to make contact with the quarterback, slow him up a little bit, let his friends come from the backside and able to finish him off. And Jasper's got to keep their eyes open. You know, anytime a high school team punts the ball on the other side of midfield, sometimes they fake it.
So Brody is their punter, and he punts it down towards the corner, and it actually goes out of bounds. And he's still moving up. Oh, he started right there at about the 11-yard line and continues to walk up. So Jasper, the situation there, I guess if it went into the end zone, would have taken it to the 20, but the Cats will have it at the 18.
When you have something like that happen, it's always made me scratch my head to see that the coaches are actually punting. They've gained, what, 15, 20 yards?
Yeah. I guess they're just playing a game of field position right now. All right, so the Cats at the 18-yard line. 8 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. No score yet in this football game. Neither team able to muster up much offense. There's Dawkins. Again, using that leg drive to get across the 20-yard line, so he earned every yard of those 3 yards he picked up.
We talked about it in the Castle game last week about how the backside was open, and you would think that Jasper would run some counters to that way. With their three-man front, they are doing such a nice job of Dawkins wanting to go between the guard and the tackle. They're doing such a nice job of filling that. Dawkins happened to come to the outside, which means he's turning himself east and west. And we all know, seeing games this year, getting Dawkins going east and west, it's a whole lot easier to bring him down than facing him head up.
Actually, the quarterback keeps it. So man finds some running room, and he's going to be real close to that first down yardage. So yep, they are going to move the chains, so a 7-yard pickup for the quarterback there.
That was a really good read with the runs with Dawkins that they've been having up the middle. They decided to send their inside 3 linebackers up into the gap when he came through trying to stop him. You know, 3rd and short, odds are Dawkins is going to get the ball, but man did a nice job of reading that and getting the necessary yardage to move the sticks.
Day comes in motion, but man keeps it. Now tries to reverse field. Now he's got some space here if he can get to the outside. And right there to slow him up is number 42 coming up and making a play, and that's Crenshaw. So Crenshaw doesn't read that. Man's off to the races, maybe going all the way.
Well, the stiff arm he gave right in the middle of the field got him that extra yards, but boy, I held my breath on that one the way man kind of went down. You know, injuries is definitely not anything you want to see during the course of the year, but when you get this close to tournament, boy, it just really makes you swallow hard.
Yeah, and Blake's had some football games where he's been hobbled a little bit, including last week, had to miss out on a series. All right, so 2nd down and 2. Little play action, looking to throw. The left-handed quarterback chucks it out
Nice
there.
catch.
Berger with a nice snag. The pass was just a little bit high, but he was able to haul it in. Gets across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, but if Berger doesn't make that leap at that time and get his hands extended as far as he possibly could to bring that down, there was a green shirt sitting right behind him ready to go to the house. Nice job by Berger.
So about 5 yards on the hookup. They only needed 3, so they get the first down.
I would really like to see them get Foley involved.
Man keeps it left side this time, and now he's got some running room. Gets across his field, and he's got wide open lane here to the outside if he can outrun one man to the 20 down to the 15 before he's finally brought down. And again, it's number 42, Crenshaw, who's able to catch up to him, but good job by man to read that and see that opening to the outside.
Crenshaw did a great job on the play previous trying to chase a man down on this other side to get him to 7 yards. But if you really want to know how fast Blake Mann is, you could see Crenshaw take his angle, and by the time he realized where man was, he had to really adjust his angle. Did a good job of keeping him out of the end zone, but
so 47 yards on the play. Now Dawkins to the right side, and he's continuing to just carry players on his back. So Dawkins.
I counted 3 on that one.
So a gain of 5 on something that could have been right there at the line of scrimmage for nothing. All right, so the Wildcats looking to put the first points of this football game on the board. Neither team has scored yet with 4:44 here in the second quarter. Ball rest at the 6-yard line. They could still get a first down as it was 1st and 10 from the 11 on this series of downs.
This is where you need concentration.
Dawkins, nobody's touching him, and he's going to take it in for the score. So Dawkins from 6 yards out scores the touchdown for the Wildcats.
Big confidence booster for Jasper. You've seen man take some hits tonight, but boy, after that one, when Dawkins got it in there, man had his hands up. He was fired up, trying to get his teammates fired up. And, you know, with the bumps in the road that Jasper's had the last 2 weeks, that's good to see.
All right, so Sermersheim out there to pop in the extra point. Good snap. holds there, and Sermersheim pops it through again. He's been perfect on the year. And Jasper with the first score with 4:27 to go here in the first half leads 7-0 here on 18 WJTS. 7 plays there for the Wildcats to go 82 yards on their scoring drive. Lead this football game 6-0 over the North Huskies.
Well, that's a big drive, and great to see them put points on the board here, getting close to the half. Now it's really imperative that our defense hold them, because North gets the ball coming out of the locker room. So, you know, Jasper's just got to do it. They got the running backs to break the big one, so Jasper's got to stay disciplined, make sure their pursuit is good coming to the outside when he bounces it there, but not too far to where he cuts it back. There's no help on the backside, so they got to stay disciplined.
All right, we'll see what the Wildcats decide to do. They actually last week weren't wanting to get the ball into the big hitter's hands, but they actually kick it right away, and it's going to bounce. Oh, tough time handling the football, but now he's got it. No, there's an opening.
Goodbye.
If he can get past the
maybe not
kicker, but we got one man that can catch him, and he tries to knock him out of bounds, but I don't think he did go out of bounds. Well, maybe right there at the 20-yard line. Oh, boy.
Yeah, but they're not in the end zone. Too many times this year that I've seen Jasper have the opponents push them back down into the red zone, but Jasper not break. So, I'm looking for more of the same that we had a little bit earlier in the season. I know they can do it. They just got to be stout up front, and the linebackers got to flow. Just keep them out of the end zone.
So Capolton Presswood 60-yard kickoff return sets up North at the 20-yard line, trailing the Wildcats 7-0. I just have a feeling we're going to see a lot of Presswood on this drive. Actually, thought he couldn't handle the football, but able to actually make something out of it. And then the surge pushes him forward for about another 3 yards, so a 6-yard pickup there.
Yeah, that was just kind of like on that kickoff return right there. The quarterback bobbled the ball, and when it hit, everybody was going with the running back. He was able to pick it up on a broken play and get himself a nice little 6-yard gain.
So spots the ball at the 14-yard line, 3:45 on the clock. Jasper up 7-0. Cats with 4 men on the defensive line against this play. He sends Presswood in motion. He's going to chuck it out here. He's finds some opening, and he's going to get the first down yardage inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
So far, every time they've brought their wideouts to this near side over here, and the guys come in motion behind them, it's been a flare to that side. Even if there's, one white shirt to every green shirt, when you put that young man in open space, you got to like your chances.
And that's the thing, Presswood actually with 12 catches for 94 yards coming into tonight, so they will throw to him. But they give it to him straight up this time. Now he sees an opening to the outside, going towards that end zone, but he's actually stopped just short at the 1.
Great job by the North offensive line. They sent the center to the right, and they crossed him up with the guard coming over the backside, opened up a little hole. He was able to get to the hole, and when the tight end came over, he was able to take our linebacker on the backside, planted his foot, bounced to the outside, and almost got it in.
All right, so second down from the 1. I got an eye backfield this time behind the quarterback. Presswood gets it, but good job by the Wildcats. Well, actually did get in, so I thought there was some contact in the backfield, but he's able to get across for the touchdown. So Presswood earned that one. 60-yard kickoff return set it up, and North is on the board.
Well, you're right. There was contact in the backfield, but it was unfortunately from our defensive tackles, and he stayed to the inside. So the contact that we were made was just the big right paw coming out, and you're not going to bring that young man down like that.
And the extra point is straight through. No, he actually missed it. Yeah, it looked like from up here, that just split it right through. So, all right, so 7-6 is our score. 2:27 to go here when we come back. North will kick off to the Wildcats, and the Cats have a chance to answer that scoring drive. So the difference in this football game is a missed extra point. Jasper leads 7-6.
Boy, that just makes coaches just drop their head. How many times have we seen at no matter what level that one extra point cost your team? And they were kicking with the win, so there's really no excuse for that one.
Right.
And 57 in North Evansville.
Get a good return here. Jasper could be in business. 2:27 to go, 3 timeouts.
All right, so they kick it straight away, and that's going to be Maringer. He's going to field it at the 5. He's a north and south runner, and so he's able to run it all the way to the 28-yard line. So the Cats, just, with 2:21 and, again, the breakaway ability that Mann's got, there's an opportunity here. And, of course, we're kicking into the win, though, if we do get in a situation where we can line up for a field goal. But, of course, you want to finish drives with touchdowns. So the Cats on the field right now with 2:21 on the clock.
Well, Jasper's got plenty of time. We talked about that 2:21, 3 timeouts. But in high school, first down stopped the clock. So they've got many, many ways they can stop that clock.
Right. So Dawkins to the right side, bounces off one man, then man against man there, and trying to see the number that actually met him up, and I think that's number 90, so that's Aiden Mercer, 195-pound senior.
And North is doing exactly what you're taught when you've got time running out of a quarter or a half, to where when Dawkins is trying to get up, it takes you forever and a day to get off the pile.
So 4 yards sets it at the 32-yard line. Minute 48 as the clock continues to run here. Dawkins left side. And not much there, so a third down coming up for the Cats here. 3rd and about 5 is what they'll face, and they're going to call their first timeout. Well, actually, North calls the timeout.
Well, I was kind of a little bit surprised because we're sitting here at 3rd and 6, throwing into the wind. Dawkins has had 2 carries. Hasn't really got much out of either one of them. If you're North, hey, they get a punt up. And if you do kick, I know he missed the extra point, you got the wind to your back. That may add another 6 yards onto your kick.
Right. All right, let's take a break during the timeout. 1:33 to go here in the first half. 7-6, Cats lead. All right, so again, North called that timeout. They've got 1 left. Cats have all 3, I believe. So 1:33 on the clock. Day goes in motion, but they give it to Dawkins, and they're really, last 2 plays at least, they're able to key in on that. Now Huskies call their final timeout. So this is going to give them an opportunity to, number 1, put a block on for the punt possibly, but if not, again.
Well, that was definitely a series, Craig, where you're saying to yourself, if something happens, great, but our big concern right now is not make that mistake, because those were very, very conservative calls.
Well, and everything, too, is that, North getting the football back with a minute 25, there's going to be a little bit less, obviously, after the punt here. But, and then still getting the football to start the second half. So,
well, it's going to be up to this coverage team that if they do, in fact, catch the ball, you see a lot in high school where the ball hits the ground, which, I've always thought that if you can get your hands on the ball, catch it. Whether it's a fair catch or not, catch the ball. Don't take a chance of losing 20 yards on a bad hop against your team. But Jasper can get a rugby-style kick, which is I'm sure they'll probably do, and try to get it on the ground, run it up the sidelines, keep it away from any type of return. But I would say down between their 20 and 30 that they would be a little conservative too.
Yeah, so the guy they drop back is number 1, Robert Pollard, 6'1", 170-pound senior, and he's waiting right there around the 40-yard line. So man in there to punt again for the Wildcats.
They're bringing heat to this near side.
So he gets a punt off. It's going to be returnable. Fields it right there at the 40, and a good job by the Wildcats to stop that quickly, and I think that's Berger again.
Absolutely fantastic. it's what you love to see as a special teams coach. As soon as the guy, if he's going to be brave enough when he's got pressure coming, not to wave the hand in the air for a fair catch. As soon as he catch it, lay the hammer down, and Berger just nailed him.
So we got 1 minute 18 to go here. Ball's at the 40-yard line. Presswood late to getting on the football field here. Trying to get his helmet snapped up.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been battling equipment trouble this first half. He's missed two sets of downs doing that.
All right, so Body drops back the pass. Now commits to the run there. Is able to get out of bounds. So he's out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. So 7-yard pickup there and only used about 6 seconds off the clock, minute 12.
Well, you bounce out like that. Jasper's got to bring him down in bounds and make them use the timeout or something. But he was actually looking to go deep that time, but he didn't. He made the wise choice. We had man floating back there of just taking the ball and going out.
So they got 3 wide receivers split out to our near side with only 2 guys covering them. But, of course, Mann's got his eye over there from his free safety spot.
Screen, nope.
But nope, they don't decide to run the football, and it's actually Presswood, and Presswood battles to the 45-yard line. And so that's going to stop the clock right now with 1:04 to move those chains.
Presswood did a real nice job of when contact was being made with him. It was made up around his shoulders. He kind of squatted down to take his weight, move it towards the ground, pull himself out of the Jasper defender. It was lucky that we had pursuit from the backside.
So clock ticks down to 50 seconds right now. Presswood sets up on the left side. Now Body's going to run to his left, looking to throw, but then gets knocked out of bounds, so that'll stop the clock. Day right there to meet him.
Day did a nice job of taking a good shot and putting it on him. You know, those may not look like much right now, but you get late in the game, they start to wear on you.
Right. All right, so we're at 42 seconds right now. No gain on the play, maybe a gain of 1. Ball's at the 44.
They've got 3 on the far side again.
Body's going to throw to his right. Chucks it out there. He's got a man out in the flat, and that stops. No, they're actually saying the clock will continue to run, but they're going to stop it briefly to move those chains. But he was able to hook up with Mitchell on that play for 10.
That was a heck of a spot because he went out at the 36, and they're putting it right at the 35. And that's the only reason why the chains moved.
All right, so clock ticks. We're at 29 seconds now.
Watch your screen. Watch your screen.
Good pressure there by Mitchell, or I'm sorry, to Schneider to force him, but now he's able to find some running room, but that clock is going to continue to run. We're at 14 seconds. They're sidelines wanting to clock the football. They're trying to get it set here, down to 8, 7.
They've got 2.
No, they have no timeouts. They've used all 3 of them. The scoreboard's wrong.
Oh.
So,
you know what's funny about that? All year long you've been getting on me about just looking at the scoreboard.
Well,
now tonight I look at the scoreboard.
No, they're showing 3 timeouts over there. So yeah, they had to clock it there. Now they're going to have to try a field goal as they'll set it up at about the 33-yard line. So we're looking at 43 yards.
Boy, that was just I'm not saying he can't put this through and you know get some points, but boy, that was just poorly timed offense.
All right, so there's 2 seconds on the clock.
Well, they're down to 7 on the play clock.
Oh, and now we got flags flying, so this is going to go against
Jasper.
Oh, it is, okay. So Jasper lined up off sides, or at least jumped off there, so that's going to give him 5 more.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Because that kick right there didn't look like it had much of a chance.
So that's going to move the football to the 21-yard line. So that's going to change the kick to a 38-yard field goal. So spot it right there at the 28.
Got to stay disciplined here. Got to stay disciplined.
And actually the officials, I don't know if they're wanting to, they need to put 2 seconds on the play clock. Okay. Yeah, because the play clock's at 0 right now. They ran that off, so, yep, there we go. We got 2 seconds on it.
Which is really, I mean, they have to do it, but it's kind of a moot point because as soon as he snaps the ball and he puts it in the air, clock's done anyway.
Right.
But it is what it is.
All right, good snap. Kick is up, and it is good. So, 38 yards out. And that gives the North Huskies a halftime lead of 9-7. So, North, who again will get the second half kickoff. But a big field goal there for the Huskies. Because, again, they missed their extra points. So they were trailing by 1. But, yeah, that one he just popped straight ahead and just cleared the upright.
Well, it's the prime example of what's been happening to Jasper the last 3 games, or the last 2.5 games, I should say, going into halftime here of the third one. But it's the penalties. It's putting the ball on the turf. They are their own worst enemy. If they want to do anything in this tournament, they have got to clean this up. It's hard when the only road win we're going to have if Jasper continues to shoot themselves in the foot is the Wrights game. And boy, I tell you what, you go into the tournament, everybody over the course of years who's ever played, whether it's been basketball, baseball, whatever, you want those W's, you want that momentum going in there.
Right.
And Jasper's just not doing enough right now to get that accomplished.
Yeah, because, again, they had the football with plenty of time, but on that last drive, starting at the 28-yard line, just 3 and out and had to punt there. And so North was able to take advantage of it and put more points on the board.
Well, the first one was not any good. And you give somebody a second chance, let him take that deep breath and get, realigned. And now not only do they get the ball coming out of the half, they've got the momentum on their side too.
Right. All right, so we'll take a halftime break. Jasper trails 9-7 against the North Huskies here on 18 WJTS. We're at halftime where the Evansville North Huskies, after a 38-yard field goal, lead the Jasper Wildcats 9-7, and we'll take a look at some of the numbers for the first half. The Jasper Wildcats with 30 offensive plays for 161 yards, North with 23 plays for 103. Cats were led in rushing by the quarterback, Blake Mann, 10 carries for 84 yards, including that 47-yard run that he had. That helped set up the Wildcats' first score. Lance Dawkins, 14 carries and 56 yards, and he scored from 7 yards out. And Mann was 1 of 3 passing, so the Wildcats still need to get something going with their passing game. So a couple missed opportunities. Caleb Berger caught the 1 pass for 6 yards, but saw him wide open on 1 play that Mann was not able to connect with him. And taking a look at the North numbers, Presswood, 7 carries for 49 yards, and their lone touchdown, that was a 2-yard run with 3:27 to go in the second quarter. All the scoring came in the second quarter for both teams. So, and passing-wise, Ethan Brody was 6 of 8 for 30 yards, and was able to spread it out pretty well with screen passes for the most part. Presswood had 2 catches. Haley had 2, and then a catch by Mitchell and Johnson. So, yeah, Bob, it's just one of those situations where, again, North's going to have the football to start the second half, and Jasper, in the first quarter was forcing punts on their drive. So we just need to get back to that aggressive defense that we had to start this football game.
Well, I'm sitting here and listening to your stats, and you kind of want to see how things are going. But I got to be honest with you, ever since I seen the first fumble by Mann, it aggravated me. Jasper is Jasper's own worst enemy. This team, now they are coming into this game with 2 losses, but going to number 3 in the state Central on their home field, having the ball at the end, ready to push overtime. Then they go to 5A Castle, who's on a 4-game winning streak, and they had the ball towards the end. So, yeah, they lost the games, but they were in them. It's not like they were totally getting blown out. But watching it tonight, this type of effort against a team like Central, those scores will be 55-0. Mm-hmm. You cannot continue to shoot yourself in the foot. We have got to get really moving. Now, Jasper's last drive at the end, right before North got the ball and kicked the field goal, Mann did not get involved in that offense at all. It was 3 handoffs to Dawkins. We did not put it up in the air. I know that they had used a timeout at that time, maybe even two of them. Maybe the coaches didn't want an incomplete, stop the clock type deal. But right now, with them kicking that field goal, the green's out here bouncing around, and Jasper's kind of monotoned over there. And if they go out and they shoot themselves in the foot, you know, give them a first down on you know, a 3rd and short or a 4th and short, just like they did on that field goal to give them the points, I just don't know if they can recover from that.
Well, we'll see what the Wildcats decide to do as far as kicking off the football, because they actually kicked it straight away after their touchdown, but then a 60-yard return by Presswood set North up at the 20-yard line, and 4 plays later, Presswood took it in from 1 yard out there. So,
well, on our offense, we had talked about it. Dawkins is really starting to have to get he's getting pushed wide instead of trying to get in between the tackles. Our 3 guys have got to do a better job battling on the inside, 3 guys being our center and our 2 guards, of moving these guys out of the way and let Dawkins go up the gut. Keep him between the guards. And these linebackers, they're somewhat decent, but I like Dawkins' chance meeting them, you know, chin to chin and running right over them, because they're going to make contacts 4 yards down the field. And if you get Dawkins rolling downhill, he is a special, at that time, load to bring down.
all right, so we get the whistle ready to start the second half, and Sermersheim will boot it there, and it looked like the Wildcats might have been offsides there, but no call. So actually it was fielded right there at the 30, and he's able to rush it to the 37-yard line. So that's where North will start 1st and 10.
I just don't understand that. Maybe you're looking for a bad bounce, but where they're going to start the ball, you might as well just kick it out of bounds, because then they'll get it up there anyway, and then you have no chance of a return. But those little squib kicks right there, to where it's basically non-existent. Any team that can start on their 30-yard line and up is great, and they're starting out on about the 36.
All right, so Brody is their quarterback again with Presswood in the backfield there. Presswood gets the first carry and gets it right up to the 40-yard line, so a pickup of 3 on that first down run.
Nice job by their center getting out and moving our guy out. He was 3 yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage before he even got touched. And with a gentleman like that coming through, if you're going to get him into open spaces where he can plant and cut on the inside like that, it could be a long night.
Presswood will get it again, and then this time to the outside, and Day's able to ride his back, but not before he's able to get to the 50-yard line and gets another first down.
We talk about running backs all the time going north and south. Well, the North offensive line is going north and south, and the Jasper defense is going east and west. They have got to get penetration back there. They are letting him get too far up the field, and to make his decision, you got to make him make his decision as soon as he gets the ball in his hand. We are getting no pressure from our outside. It's going to be a long second half if we do not start getting pressure up the field.
All right, so that 10-yard run sets it up 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Brody gives it. Presswood maneuvers his way through the line, picks up 5.
I don't know if there's really a designated hole for him to go through. He's getting the ball and kind of just hesitating for a second, see what opens up. And he's good enough to plant that foot and get to that hole in a hurry. But once again, 2 yards down the field before he gets touched.
So this time, Presswood set up in a slot position as they got 4 wide receivers to our near side, 1 to the far.
If this is not a screenplay, it would surprise me.
And they actually jump there, so that gives the Wildcats a break. We'll move the football back to the 50-yard line, set up a 2nd and 10.
You can always, when you see them jump off sides or motion like that, you can always tell on the opposing team who the offensive coordinator is.
Yeah,
because his hands go way up in the air.
I agree. All right, so First possession of the second half. It's 9:56 on the clock right now. Brody's the quarterback, and now he's going to keep it himself.
Nice
and a
play.
good job there. Is that Schneider? I believe so. Yes, number 53 read that the entire way.
Well, he was kind of hobbled a little bit in that first half. It looks like it must have just been a little ding, but that was huge right there by Schneider pulling him down. Now they're in 3rd and long. Jasper's had good success against North when it's been 3rd and over 5 for the first down. And right now they're sitting about 3rd and 9. A lot of confusion out there, too.
And actually, North was 0 for 3 on 3rd downs in the first half. So 3rd down and 9 they're facing right now. Presswood goes to Brody's right side. Now he's going to roll out. I think he wanted to throw there. And good job by Peter to pick that up. And looked like it could have been some contact, but no flags flew. So Cats may have got a break there.
Was that Mariner or
This is Peter.
Peters that went out there? That was a great job because when he cut out, our defender had to kind of bow back and get out there and showed a lot of speed. Now, I wasn't looking so much for a flag for contact out there, but he never turned his head and tried to find the ball. And referees will throw that from time to time for face guarding. That was a big stop by the Jasper defense, aided by a penalty against North, but still, nonetheless.
I'd like to see Man get an opportunity to get a return here. Now, that's a bullet punt right there, but then it goes right by Man and goes into the end zone. So the Cats will have the football at the 20 to start their first possession. So right now it's just an opportunity. Good job by the defense to force the punt there. And now it's just the opportunity for the offense to just get back on track and start getting things rolling here.
Well, Man did a nice read on that when the ball came down. He's seen the motion of the ball already before it went past him, and him being on the 12-yard line knew it had enough momentum to get into the end zone. So just let it go, but to go in there, and we'll start from the 20, and we'll push it 80 yards, and we'll take the lead in this game. That's the game plan.
Well, their scoring drive in the second quarter was 82 yards, started from the 18-yard line. So, of course, Man with a 47-yard run was the big play on that drive. A Man's in motion, and he just really could not pitch it there. So, again, just too many green shirts getting in the backfield on that option play.
Yeah, there was 3 of them. You know, and 2 of them made contact with Man at the same time. It just teams right now that watch film on Jasper, seen the big play ability of Man, they think that Dawkins may get his 6, 7, 8 yards, but, you know, they can catch Dawkins. You know, Man gets out in the open, so they sell out a lot. And they're teaching their defensive backs and their linebackers on the backside to see the motion of Man when he pulls that ball out, and they're reading it, rushing it, and stopping them for a loss.
So Berger's going to get on the pitch out this time, and is able to turn up field, so he'll pick up those 6 yards that we lost on the previous play, but still it's going to be 3rd and 10.
It is so difficult playing in the SIAC, trying to get yards going east and west. Now, Berger did a nice job of getting some. He did get to the edge a little bit. The problem when you try to do that, and they have so much speed, you can only go so far before you turn it upfield. If not, you're running out of real estate with the sidelines right there. And they're just taking their 2 defensive backs and just saying if they run the sweep or they run the triple option with Man or whoever on the outside, just take the angle, force him out of bounds.
So 3rd and 10.
Oh.
And now we're going to have a penalty against the Wildcats, so now 3rd and 15.
You know, when things are not going your way, you get, and you've been having trouble with your man in front, you try to get that little extra second. And that's essentially just all that was. I mean, it was pretty close to the snap, but, you know, very visible to the eyes that he got off early.
All right, so the ball's resting right there at the 15-yard line. So the Cats, whose passing game has struggled again tonight. Obviously in a passing situation here, so you roll your quarterback out to the left, and he throws it out there. It's completed. That's going to be close. I think it might be a yard short.
I think you're right, Craig. Half yard to a yard from the angle that I'm looking.
Complete to number 13.
I was trying to see who actually caught that football. They said 13, but I don't think that's the case. Was Cooper Ewing out there? Maybe he was. If that's the case, well, the Cats got the football, 4th and 1.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Well, the quarterback tries to sneak it straight up. This is going to be really close, Bob. Oh, wow, there's a surge right at the end. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the side judge actually, well, he went back another half yard, but nope, it's a first down. So the Cats gamble right there, and Blake Mann's able to get that yard.
Well, the referee on the far side, that when he came in, he was at the 31, and the zebra on this side with us, he was at the 30, and he kind of curved it up. That's what they're taught nowadays. The linemen, if the pile stops, just get in there and start shoving. That's a gutsy call right there.
All right, so Dawkins gets his first carry, and not much there. Actually might have lost a yard.
Well, he's getting hit at the point of contact. Our offensive line, we're just getting blown up right there. We have got to get low, and we have got to drive our legs, and we're making contacts, but we're not getting any driving with our legs, which means we're not moving them, which means they're clogging up the inside, which means the yards are going to be pretty tough to come by.
All right, so 2nd down and 11 from the 30. Mann rolls out the throw. Now turns upfield. Positive yardage to the 36-yard line is where they'll spot that football, so pick up a 7.
I really like when Jasper does throw the ball, if they're going to drop him back, I would really like to see the 2 or 3 and then stand up and hit Foley coming across the middle. But if I had my druthers on when he throws the ball, I'd love to see him roll out. Because if that defensive end out there that's rolling with him cannot make the right decision, man, it'd be gone in a second.
Right. All right, so actually Ewing splits out to the left side this time. Luke Dawkins in motion, but Mann keeps it, and he is tripped up. Good penetration there. He's trying to get the number again. Actually, number 9, Cale Johnson makes the play in the backfield, and now the Cats will be forced to punt. You can't really go for it from the 38-yard line, needing 3 yards.
When you look at our center, our 2 guards, and our tackles, we have 5 guys. They've got a 3-man front, and their 3-man front is tying up our entire 5-man front. That is going to make it very difficult for Jasper to move the ball.
Mann gets a little bit of a run into the punt there, and they're going to fair catch it right there at the 29-yard line. So both teams have had a possession so far here in the 3rd quarter. Both teams have had to punt. So 9-7 still our score, 4:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
But once again, you had 2 teams that, you know, like the Castle game last week, shot themselves in the foot, you know, with a penalty after a pretty decent game. This is just, it's almost to the point this game's turning out to whoever makes the least mistakes.
Party brings Mitchell in motion. He actually went down. They're going to say he was down in the backfield because he went down to one knee, then tried to pitch it to number 8 there, but that's going to be a loss on the play, obviously.
That is headaches for both sides of the coaches. You are this late in the season, and you're seeing mistakes that you normally see at the beginning of the season. That's the 3rd time the center for North has rolled the ball back to him on a shotgun.
So a 5-yard loss on the low snap. Presswood in the backfield behind the quarterback this time. Now he's going to set up to the right side.
Look for a screen over here. Nope.
Little counter play coming back the other way, and there's Schneider going to have to bring him down. He'll pick up some yardage, though. Gets to the 30-yard line, so a 6-yard pickup.
I know he's got 6 positive yards out of there, but what Schneider did to actually pull him down for just a 6-yard gain was pretty impressive because he got his hands on him while he was trying to fight off the offensive lineman and never did lose grip of him.
So a 3rd and long here for the North Huskies. 3rd and 9.
Bringing heat up the middle.
They're trying to set up the screen there, and they are able to get there. And good job by the Wildcats to read that. Who was it? Was that Schneider again? I'll tell you what, man, that is just, if he's not an all-conference linebacker, that's all we do is call his number in most of the games this year. I don't know what an all-conference linebacker needs to be.
Well, he is right now being the beacon for this Jasper team, and I hope that they want to follow the light because he is playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, so a loss of 3 on the play. So Brody's punt. Now this is an opportunity here for Mann. Oh, he keeps his feet, though. He's right there at the 28-yard line if he can make a move. And he's able to lean his way forward for about an extra 3 yards to the 33-yard line. But, yeah, just kind of had to catch that over his shoulder and took away his momentum. But I was really excited to see Mann at least field one there and maybe get a run going.
Yeah, we haven't seen that a whole lot this year. But, you know, with the wind kind of whipping across the field the way it is, you know, you can see that ball and you're just sitting there and then all of a sudden it's scooting another half yard. So he did a great job. When he went after it, he actually went after it. He didn't just get in the middle of it and decide he didn't want any part of it. So, you know, avoided a mistake right there, got some positive yards on the return. Now we need to put some points on the board.
Mann keeps it, but nowhere to go as 4 green jerseys smother him there. Including number 53 making a pop is Mitchell Hoppy.
We have got to run some counters here. As soon as they see what direction Mann's face mask is turning, whether he's going to the left side or the right side, they are at this point right now, being that Jasper's only put the ball up 3 times in the air tonight, they were just selling out to the outside. Because we cannot control their nose guard right now. He's just eating up anything and taking Dawkins, for the most part, out of the inside game.
Gieser in the slot back position. He gets the pitch there. Moves forward, but not enough. He's able to get across the 35. They'll spot it at the 37-yard line. Going to set up a 3rd and about 6.
Actually got another 3 yards out of that when the North tackler brought us down. He was actually on the ground, and we were able to roll over the top of him and get some more. But I just don't understand why we're not dropping back a little bit and having Mann throw something, whether it's out of the shotgun. They're just selling out right now on the run.
Cats really need this 3rd down conversion.
Here they come.
Actually, Mann keeps it. Lowers his head and gets across the 40. He's not going to be, well, actually the other side, they do spot it a little bit better than what I expected there. So I think that's a 1st down. Well, no, maybe about a yard. Okay, no, they're at the 42 right now. It's got to get to the 43, so we'll see if the Cats, they're moving the chains. Look at that.
Well,
they changed that.
Yeah, the guy that placed the ball down, when he put it down, he was on this side of the 42, and when he actually let his hands off the ball, it was on that side of the 42.
Yeah, the head official in the white hat there, he was motioning to go move the chains, but then second look there, and it's like, okay, wait a minute. I think some of the line judges were like, wait a minute, we better measure this one.
You know, you see that a lot nowadays where they'll just wave the chains. I mean, if it's close and you got a close game going on, you've got to measure. It looks like he's going to be about 4 or 5 inches short.
Yeah.
I walk up, quick snap it, and just he'll be able to do it. Instead of trying to sneak real hard right over the center, kind of pop out maybe a foot to where even if the nose guard slants your way, you're still going to have that, 5-6 inches.
Right. Because, again, their big man is number 61, Gage Sales. He is head up over the center. However, our center's Ashton Schneider, who's probably the toughest pound-for-pound football player on the football field for the Jasper Wildcats.
Well, there's a reason Sales is all-state.
Man, quickly.
Oh, he
did get it. Yes, he went to his left side there. So he surged forward initially, but then went to his left, and I think, yeah, he's got that 1st down. There's no question. There's no question. I mean, the man, He was not moved backwards. The official, or the,
Oh, they're pulling the North coach off the field. He's going nuts.
oh, that's a first down. There's no doubt.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they were measuring from the 42, and now
Yeah.
it's solidly on the 43-yard line right now.
Oh, yeah. That's.
Unless somehow mysteriously we lose some links of that chain
Well,
on this measurement.
yeah, I agree with you. The announcer here at the stadium saying that he got moved backwards. No, he did not. He only had 6 inches. I think we're going to be right on the about.
There it
half,
is.
Yeah.
First down. All right, so man twice has converted fourth downs into first downs in this second quarter. However, the last time the Wildcats were forced to punt on their next series of plays, so we'll see if the Cats can continue this drive on. We've got 51 seconds here in the third quarter. Neither team has scored. We're still at 9-7 with North with a 2-point lead.
Jasper's got to figure out a way to get themselves into a 3rd and short.
Mans keeps it to the right side.
Goes
Turn
north.
up field, yeah. If he would have, I think, cut up there a little bit earlier, he would have picked up more positive yardage.
You know, with the success that he's had this year, I can't say that I would do anything different trying to hit the big play. But when you get into a 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of game like this, you know, turn it upfield, get the hard 2 yards. You know, you just never know. I mean, look at our last series there when we got it. We got it by half the length of the football. So 2 yards could be huge right now. But if you watch your outside, Craig, they're slamming our outsides. They're bringing them hard. There they are again.
All right, so man is brought down. Trying to see who makes the play there, and actually, again, I cannot read the numbers. I think it was Aiden Mercer, number 90. Okay, I thought it said 30, but nope, it's number 90. But Mercer makes the stop, and we are at the end of the third quarter. So when we come back, the Cats will still have the football, facing another 3rd down situation from the 46-yard line, trailing North 9-7 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so in this drive, the Cats had a 3rd and 6 and moved it up close to a 4th and inches. We're able to convert that. Now they're at 3rd and 7. See if man can do something here.
Well, Sales for North has just been causing us all kinds of problems. And once again, he's 3 yards in the backfield.
Play action looking downfield. He pops it over there, and the pass is caught, but he's out of bounds. That was a nice snag. I think that was Cooper Ewing again, but he had to dive forward to make the catch, but lands out of bounds, and so the Cats will be forced to punt again.
Great effort to even get your hands on the ball. But we're rolling him out to the backside and once again having him throw across his body. Now, man had a opportunity to get some real estate there. So, I don't know. We're putting the ball. We'll kind of hope for their defense can come in here and do what they need to do.
Oh, boy, a straight-up punt.
But
he
what
gets
a bounce.
A little bit of a cat bounce, and woo. All right, so it actually goes inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. So that's where number 5, Ethan Broady's going to have to bring his team back out in the field. So no score there in the third quarter. 9-7 is still our score.
Yeah, it's been a complete struggle. This Sales, there's the inside nose tackle. You know, he was All-State last year. He's been captain 2 years in a row. He's been All-Metro. There's a reason for that. It's just fortunate for the White on this side that we've got Sheeter playing the way he's playing.
Presswood on the right side. Now they chuck it out there. I believe that's Mitchell with the football. Now we got a penalty flag, and I think that's going to be a block in the back on number 1, Robert Pollard. We'll see if they make that call.
Well, Maringer was definitely out there, and he had him wrapped up. They're calling the hold.
Okay.
But he had it dead to rights.
All right, so that's – and I'll tell you what, I've seen very few holds actually called tonight. Seems like you see a lot more over the course of a high school football game, but this is going to move them back 10.
Well, I'll tell you one thing they haven't been holding the flag on, and rightfully so, is the legal procedures and the offsides.
Well, those are obvious.
Both teams, You know, you're right. They're so bad they are. I mean, quite obvious. But you know, that seemed to be where the big things were. Now, Jasper is in really good shape right here. If they stay disciplined, this could be the turning point of the game.
Yeah, we'll see if North tries to open up their passing game. They've mostly been running the football here in this second half. So actually, Presswood to the outside, nothing there. And actually, they're going to say keep that clock running there. So the Cats obviously made the stop, so that's going to be a loss of about a yard on that play.
It really has always made me scratch my head when they try to run a wide play, trying to get to the end, but you run it to the short side of the field. You know, especially when you got that much speed. You want to give him as many yards as he can to get around that edge, but Jasper did a great job of flowing, and just like I was talking about Jasper and their offense running some counters, I'm surprised that North's not running any.
Quarterback's going to roll to the right. Now he's looking maybe to run there, but he
out.
throws, and yes, he was about a step out of bounds there as he hit Mitchell there at the 18-yard line, but play will not count, so it's going to be 3rd and 20.
Mitchell did a nice job for North coming out, running into the flat, and then he turned it into an out and up, and then he curled it off at the end. So he did a nice job of coming back to the ball, but Jasper did a real nice job of making that pass have to come to where it did. And, of course, it doesn't matter if he caught the ball. He's out of bounds. So Jasper did what they needed to do. Now they just need to do it for one more down.
All right, so Cats need to make a stop here, and actually North's going to call a timeout. So we'll take a break. 10:34 on the clock. Jasper still trails North 9-7 here on 18 WJTS. Third down and 20. Ball rest at the 10-yard line.
They've got 3 to our near side. That's usually where they like to run their screens if they weren't wanting to put the ball in the air.
All right, so Brody actually had opened the middle of the field there. It looked like he might have had some running room, but then he throws out there and reaching out, making a nice catch as Robert Pollard, but that's going to be way short. So that's going to force a punt.
Well, right now, the main thing they were wanting to do is not kick or punt the ball from their own end zone. And they did a nice job of moving 10 yards up. And, you know, he was open, but Jasper was essentially just going to the sticks, making sure that everything was caught in front of them. You know, they did the right move right there. So now if we can get a good return from Mann.
And if this falls into his hands, and it is right there at the 41-yard line, Mann trying to get to the outside. Now he slows up, and he'll be run out of bounds. But, again, great field position right there at the midfield at the 50-yard line.
Jasper, if they come up short tonight, one thing that they're not going to be able to say is our starting field position's been horrible, because it hasn't been.
Right.
It's been those little mistakes, but with all that has gone wrong, the fumble in the first half, the killer drives of the penalties, whether it be the holding or the illegal motion, all that set aside, Jasper puts it in the end zone right here. You know, all that stuff could be forgotten.
And I tell you what, you know, we were talking during one of the breaks there that Dawkins has not had many carries, and he's not actually on the football field, so we're trying to figure out what happened there. Dave Messmer actually pointed that out to us,
Dave's
one of
so
our
smart.
statisticians, yeah. So actually that's Day in the fullback spot, so he's going to get a carry right there and picks up some positive yardage, about 3 yards to the 47.
Well, it explains a couple of things. You know, I know that we're like a mile and a half away from the field, but it really points out a couple of things. One is when our fullback was getting the contact being made, you know, and not going anywhere, well, we don't have the 213-pound hammer coming through there. And the other one is if Dawkins not in there, it's letting North go ahead and sell out on man.
Actually, check out that's Luke Dawkins playing the fullback spot. So now Mann's going to roll to his left side. The left-handed quarterback chucks it out and almost picked off just right through the fingertips. That was number 1, Robert Pollard, who made that great catch on their third down play a little bit ago. Could not haul that one in.
Well, not only did he almost get it, but when the ball caromed off his hand, the one that was actually guarding Foley was there. Now, Foley is 6'5", and he's a mountain of a man. When you do those little rollouts, you take away his ability to go up and get the ball. You know, hit him on the precise routes.
Actually, one player out tonight is Almoran, too. So
Nice
now
run.
there we go. Luke Dawkins finds a big opening and rushes it all the way to the 31-yard line. So a huge pickup of 16 there to get the first down.
That was, without question tonight, in my opinion, the most determined run by any Jasper player. He was hit 3 or 4 times, and I mean just would not give up. And that could be the play to spark us.
So little brother doing the job right now. 8:45 on the clock. Cats need to come up with some points on this drive. Man keeps it. Jumps over the 30-yard line. And he will be brought down at the 27, so about a 4-yard pickup on that first down run.
Actually, a pretty spectacular 4-yard pickup. When he faked and he spun to the backside, which is not a true counter, but it is definitely a misdirection. And he got to the outside. When he spun, he lost his footing and had to put his hand down. And then 2 North guys came up, and he was still able to bounce out and get positive yards.
Second down. Man keeps it, jumps over,
Oh.
and there he goes. Somebody loses their head on the football field for North, and I think he's still in on the play over there. Now actually a Wildcat helmet falls out, or falls down on the ground there, and
There's a flag on the play.
we got a penalty flag, yes. So let's see what the call is. It's actually Mann's helmet who got ripped off there.
Yeah, but that was at the very end. Now, what's interesting about that to me is usually in high school when that helmet comes off, boy, they blow that play dead.
Right.
Oh, this North coach is not happy.
All right, so we'll see what they decide. Actually,
Well,
it's the side judge that was actually explaining to the coach. You could hear a little bit from up here.
Well, it looks like the coach may have made a difference because looked like they were about ready to make their decision. Then all of a sudden they walked away. Maybe they didn't really see and not sure what they should be doing.
Personal foul, face mask against the defense. So I guess it was a face mask that forced the helmet to come off of Man there. So that's going to be huge for the Jasper Wildcats. So
Absolutely.
with the run, the run actually took it to the 16-yard line. So it was about
If you can go the full on personal foul, it's 15 yards. That should take it down to the 1 or the 2, right?
Yeah, but they're going to go. No, they're going to actually. The spot of the foul was at the 14-yard line. So.
Oh, I see.
Okay, but.
Well, that doesn't make much sense because they
Or, I'm sorry,
moved it
from
to
the
the 9.
I take that back. It was from the 19-yard
Okay,
line. Yeah,
okay, I got you.
19-yard line. So they go 10. So that's at the 9. Okay, there we go.
Well, what I don't understand is right now they're letting Blake Mann stay in the game, and he should come out because his helmet came off.
So Man gets the yardage on the run, then plus adding another 10 on the face mask. Man keeps it. He's got an opening to the outside if he can get to the pylon, and he
That's
does.
awesome.
So the Wildcats score from 9 yards out and take the lead of this football game, 13-9.
Well, these North coaches are going absolutely crazy. They've been screaming at the referees that Man's got to come out of the game, and rightly so. I mean, your helmet comes off, you need to come out for one play. But for whatever reason, they didn't make him come out, and fortunate for Jasper, we're able to get points out of it.
All right, so Blake Mann,
He showed some jets on that one, though.
9-yard touchdown run. And the Wildcats are actually going to stay on the football field because right now it's a 4-point lead. Kicking the extra point only makes it 5, so you might as well go for 2 here.
Boy, the last time I seen somebody move that fast, like man on the outside, was me getting to the supper table.
What about the Chick-fil-A's up in the press
Oh,
box?
well, I could.
Saw you stuffing your pockets.
Hey, Jeremy had some moves up there now.
Oh, Chick-fil-A with
Oh,
Jeremy.
man. He could sidestep
Especially
anybody.
on the house. Usually he's pulling that wallet out when we go to Boonville or someplace that normally has those.
I outweigh him by a few pounds. He moved me out like I wasn't even there.
All right, so the penalties against the Wildcats, so moves them back 5 here, so some movement there. Now it makes it even tougher, but you still got to go for 2 here. 5-point lead doesn't do much for you, really. Cats lead by 4, going for the 2-point conversion, trying to make it 6.
Boy, I would really look for Foley here.
Man's gonna roll his left. He's got Foley over there if he can get it. And what a catch by Foley. Hauls it in for the 2-point score.
Craig, you and I have talked and talked and talked until we've been blue in the face. Let the mountain of a man go up and get the ball. You have called that from like the second, third game of the season. You've been like, he's just so big. Make him go up to where nobody else can, and that's what they did there.
Yeah, because again, just lay it out and let your big man make a play, and that's what happened there. So the Wildcats lead by 6, 15-9 here on 18 WJTS. All right, we still got 7:33 to go in this football game. Jasper has taken the lead 15-9 on the touchdown and 2-point conversion.
I would much rather, if they're going to try the squib, I'd much rather see him just kick it out of bounds.
Well, they actually pop it over there, and yeah, there you go, Bob.
I mean, they've started on between the 30 and the 40, it seemed like all night long anyway.
Well, I mean, that's just one of those where it's like, yeah, put it over in that particular area. If it goes out of bounds, great.
That's right.
That's actually probably pretty good placement, you know, because let's say, number one, Robert Pollard decides to field that, you know, then you're basically – you're taking them on from the 20-yard line. So they just basically kick into an open spot, and that was pretty well executed when you think about it.
Well, the big thing was take away the big play possibility because, you know, you got Presswood and those guys floating around and, you know, anything can happen. So playing a little conservative, but it may have been just the absolute perfect call. Let's see what their defense can do. Going to a 5-man front.
All right, so the Wildcats have been forcing North into punts on every possession so far in this second half.
Bringing heat.
Get it to Presswood. Oh! And what a pop right there, and that is Peter. Read that perfectly and knocks him back. Actually about a 2-yard loss on the play.
Well, when I looked at it from this angle, I said a 5-man front, but Jasper was still in their 4-man front. I kind of seen one guy there, and I guess I was going a little cross-eyed, and it looked like 2. But anyways, nonetheless, Peter did a nice job of really fighting off his blocker and making the stick. And I'm telling you right now, this defensive series right now is just about as large can get for Jasper.
And that's the thing. I mean, you got to fire it up Wildcat defense right now. Just need to keep going. And they give it to Presswood, but the Cats read it. Hey, we'll give Presswood 2 or 3 yards, forcing up 3rd and long, and it's going to be 3rd and 9 from the 36-yard line.
Well, the good thing about it is when they were pulling people off that pile, there was only 4 white shirts standing. That means 6 was down. So that kind of pursuit right there. Now, the one thing that you want to watch is if North throws 3 receivers to either side and Jasper puts 2 front up with help from the safety over the top. That's usually when they've been running the screens to the wide receivers.
So 3rd down conversions has not been big for North this time, but they're going to try to go long, and we got a little scout, and they're going to call a pass interference.
That's
I'll
horrible.
tell you,
that's horrible.
Oh man, both of them were pretty well locked against each other. You had the
that's terrible.
Oh boy, oh boy. So that's going to be a 15-yarder, and that's actually number 22, Cameron Galehausen. He looked like he was kind of making contact with the defender, and
oh, yeah, there was definitely contact on both sides, but they were both fighting for the ball.
Right.
And our guy actually did turn to find that ball. That's almost a makeup. These North fans have really been getting hard on the stripes. And I think there was a little influence right there because they start screaming as soon as contact was made. But the offensive player was definitely fighting as much as the defensive player.
So pass interference will put the football right at midfield, 50-yard line, 1st and 10 for the North Huskies.
See if we bring any pressure from the inside. Here we go.
Throw it out there, and actually it's going to fall incomplete.
I'll tell you what, that's close to a lateral.
Yeah, it was just good job by Grant Maringer coming up and making a pop there, forcing that incompletion.
That was real close. I think 4 or 5 times tonight when they did run that screen, they actually did throw it back.
May I ask how they gained a yard there? They spotted the ball at the 49-yard line. Do you see that?
I do see that. And they have the stick down here on the 49-yard line.
When they had the...
I don't understand it myself, Craig.
Okay. Well, maybe I...
No, you.
It was 3rd and 9. I take that back. Okay.
You
All
can't.
right.
Not Craig. Craig don't make mistakes. Nice
Oh,
cut.
here's Presswood. Now look out for him. Now he sees an opening to the outside. It's going to take Blake Mann to force him
Nice
out of
job
bounds
by
at the 17-yard line. And big run there.
Boy, I tell you what, Mann did a nice job of turning on some jets and pushing him out to the end zone, or out to the sidelines.
So a pickup of 32 yards on that run. So Presswood finally getting involved in the offense here in this second half, and it's late in this football game with 5:54. And it was last week where the Wildcats, both teams not able to score in the third quarter, and then Castle finally scored that late touchdown to win that football game. Defense put to the test right here. Now the quarterback, Brody, keeps it. And
nice job by Jasper gang tackling.
Maybe gains a yard. So gets to the 16-yard line. Clock runs at 5:41. Jasper up 15-9 right now. North moving.
For the most part, Jasper's done a pretty decent job in this second half of keeping North in second and third, and in longs. And usually that's more than 5 yards. You can go from 6 to 9. It doesn't really matter. But Jasper's done a nice job of first down and stopping these guys for short gains.
Presswood cuts up field there. Pile still moving. No whistles. Now we finally get a whistle, and the side judge is going to line it up at the 11-yard line. So he's going to need about another 5 yards for the first down, and field goal doesn't mean anything to North right now. We got 4:51 on the clock right now.
Yeah, it's like those old-time cars to where you've seen the sign on the side of them that said Hollywood or bust. This is end zone or bust for North. This is a big play for Jasper right here.
So actually the ball at the 12-yard line, so a 3rd and 5 from there. For the Jasper defense, 4-down territory for the Huskies. And they're going to call a timeout.
Well, they jumped into the I formation, which would have been one of the first times I've seen that tonight.
Yeah, I saw it just one time earlier, but all right, so 4:22 on the clock when we come back. 3rd and 5 from the 12 here on 18 WJTS. All right, a big play right here for both teams. The offense needs 5 yards for a first down, 12 yards for a touchdown, and the Wildcat defense has got to make a stop here. So 3rd and 5. Presswood sets up on the right side. Oh. And we got a penalty flag. Yeah. Oh, that's going to push him back 5. Oh, good job. So that helps the Jasper Wildcat defense.
Well, our linebacker on the far side, and I'm not even going to say who that is because I can't see the numbers worth a hoot, but he did a nice job of when he was going to bring the heat of getting up into the defensive line without crossing the line of scrimmage. And, of course, that made North's tackle jump off a little bit. That's a big, big help for Jasper. Now that the gods are looking on their favor, let's see what they can do on their own.
So now you got 3rd and 10 from the 17.
Trips to the far side.
Quarterback's going to keep it to the right. Cats can read it. Now they actually finally bring him down. Dave, I think, was the defender there. Yes, number 31.
Well, he's getting up around the 10 on the other side, but this side judge over here has got him marked at the 11, which should put him in about a 4th and 5, 4th and 6. Oh, this is huge.
All right, so 5-yard pickup does make it 4th and 5. So absolutely, this is pretty well maybe the football game. We got 3:46, clock is ticking. North decides not to call a timeout. Going to save it in case they need him if they're not able to convert here.
Pass.
Quarterback's going to roll. He's got a man, and he catches it, but can he get the yardage? I think he got it. Yes, he did. Yeah, he's right there at about the 6-yard line.
That was a hell of a catch. We had pressure right on him. Our pressure may have even gotten a little bit early, but he did what he needed to do.
So he connects with Mitchell, and they needed 5, and they pretty well got it right there. So it's going to be 1st and goal now from the 7-yard line.
Well, they're moving some guys in and out pretty fast, and it's looking like the North coach is going to try to drain as much time off this clock as he can.
Yeah, we're down at 3 minutes right now. High backfield this time from the 7.
I'll tell you, Jasper really might want to think about a timeout or two. Because if they take their time, they're going to be able to milk it all the way down, and you're going to get to the point to where a goal line stand or nothing.
2nd down, goal.
So 1 yard or 2-yard pickup there.
Setting the eye.
So North looks like they're just going to try power football to get this ball in the end zone. They
outside.
run the power to the left side. Now there's Crestwood, and he lowers his head, and he gets across for the touchdown. So that touchdown comes with 2:18 to go, and we got a tie football game at 15.
Well, I figured we were in trouble because we were bringing the heat to the inside, and when they ran the eye, they usually did the quick pitch out, the jet sweep, whatever you want to call it, to the outside, and you get a young man out there with a little bit of help, you know, he's pretty outstanding.
So now the pressure is on this extra point. We had a missed extra point earlier in the football game. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So North takes the lead, 16-15. We have 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go in this football game. Jasper trailing by 1 here on 18 WJTS. Huskies finish off a drive. It started at the 35-yard line with a 5-yard run by Presswood. He had a 32-yard run during that drive, but the big play really was the 3rd and 9 pass interference that kept the drive alive on their first series of downs there. So 2:18 to go. Huskies 16, Wildcats 15.
Oh, just being down 1 point. Jasper's, you know, you definitely want to be up. I mean, state the obvious, but Jasper's not in bad shape. Good return here. We got 3 timeouts. We don't have to put it in the end zone. We just got to get it up to where Summerson can kick it through.
All right, so the kicker, number 16, we've not gotten his name. He's not on the roster, and now he's going to kick it to the sideline. Well, Cats are going to get a good return here from the 20. Good job there. Is that Berger?
Great job.
No, that's actually Grant Maringer,
Yeah.
I thought it was 21. It was actually number 1. So Grant with a great read there and gives the Wildcats really good field position with 2:13 on the clock from the 40.
Well, not only did he read the coverage coming down towards him, he was able to time it when he was on a dead sprint catching that ball. So he was almost guaranteed, 7-8 yards by the time they got down here. And he did a nice job of cutting it up, got it to the 40. All we got to do is push it down the field. If we can get it down somewhere between the 10 and 15-yard line, I like Summerson's chances.
Man drops back to throw.
Run.
And look at
run.
all that open running room to the right side. There he goes. He's going to get to midfield and run out of bounds. So that's going to stop the clock at 2:04. So man actually had Cooper Ewing going long on the right sideline there, but man decided to tuck it in because there was a lot of green in front of him.
Well, and he did what I've been wanting him to do all year long is, just get out of bounds, quit taking the hits, but he's a really physical player. I know that's what's inside him, but, we're getting late in the season here. Let's just move the ball and, let's don't get any crazy injuries, get a couple of W's here at the end of the season and feel pretty good about our chances in the tournament.
All right, so the Cats split 2 guys out to the left side. Berger was there for a second. Now he's going to be run from behind. What a play there defensively.
Uh-oh.
And there goes a flag for him holding up. Yeah, he was doing the muscle man move there. So Brody Tishner made a great play, but boy, you did a little bit of showboating afterwards. And I'm sorry, this is not the NFL, boys.
Well, you throw up your arms, one thing, but you're staring right at the guy.
Yeah.
You know, you're just – and the referee –
And look at the coaches. The coaches are just upset. Look at them. They can't believe it.
Well, yeah, and that's one that the coaches aren't even upset with the stripes because they know it's like, what are you doing? And he's got some experience behind his name. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, he's gonna. If Jasper gets points out of here and pulls out a W, that could be the play of the game right there.
Well, the crucial thing, that's a 15-yard penalty
just
for being cocky after making an outstanding play. I mean, he ran man down there.
Yeah.
So now Berger, no, actually they give it straight up. So that was Luke Dawkins rushing the football there. I thought they were running the option there, but Dawkins got it, and he's able to get to the 32-yard line. So the Cats are moving closer. Again, Sermersheim has got the leg, but the Cats continue to let the clock run with 1:24 now.
Jasper's doing everything they need to do right now. 4 yards a clip, get a first down, stop the clock. We got all our timeouts. We're in good shape, just no mistakes.
Man's going to roll to his left this time. Dumps it out there and just throws it out of bounds. Oh,
nice play. Nice play by Man.
I don't know why Ethan Brody, the quarterback, caught that ball on the sideline, and he was real proud of himself. Wow.
Well, you know, the ball hits you in the hands, you're supposed to catch it, but Man did a nice job, not take anything negative, get it out, you know, stop the clock, let us regroup a little bit. You know, we got a couple of downs to, you know, to get, we got 6 yards to go. Very, very doable for Jasper here.
So we got a 3rd and 6 from the 32-yard line. Cats have got to get some positive yardage. 4 down territory unless you get a good chunk, but not enough for the first down. But Man's going to keep it. Now he dances around, spins. He makes that extra effort there. And boy, I tell you what, he might. Oh, look at this. They're continuing on. That's a first down, Bob.
That is a
wow.
That is a man's man move, no pun intended.
Oh, boy, I thought that play was dead, but they did not blow the whistle. You know, just kind of like last week when Jasper kind of stopped on the play and the quarterback was able to surge forward. I think the Cats might get the break here.
Well, with him.
Wait a minute. They're saying.
What? That's a terrible spot.
They're going to measure it. They're going to measure it.
Yeah, but still, when he came down, he was over the 26-yard line. And they got him on this side of it.
All right.
Well, let's see if we got the chain gang that we come to love from Joe Rollletter Field up there. Looks like he's going to have it.
Yes, he does. First down. Good job by Blake Mann. He kept the football. I thought he was going to give it to the fullback, but then he made some moves out there and was able to get those tough 6 yards.
Well, and he protected the ball too, but you know you've been in a physical play when you look at his number and it goes from the back of his helmet down to his feet, but it was stretched from side to side. So he did a heck of a job.
So now the Wildcats from the 26-yard line. Quick run up the middle is for Luke Dawkins. So Cats getting closer to that field goal range. Right now at the 22-yard line. So Dawkins with a nice surge there, picks up about 4. And we got a timeout. Let's take a break. 42 seconds to go, 16-15. Cats on the move here, trailing by 1 here on 18 WJTS. All right, ball rests right there at the 22-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Nice
Dawkins,
run.
look at that run to the right side. He's going to take it in for the touchdown.
Yes.
Luke Dawkins. Huge hole on the right side, and he races 22 yards for the score.
That's when you walk over and flip the ball to your big brother and say, now that's how you finish a game. That was impressive. North sold out on Man, and Man made a great read on there. And, I mean, when Dawkins when he got to that 10-yard line, there was just no way they were bringing him down. Boy, that was huge.
36 seconds on the clock, Jasper. And we're going to have a timeout here, so the Cats decide to call the timeout.
Well, we got to be going for 2 again.
Oh, absolutely. It's All right, so we're going to take a break. 36 seconds to go. When we come back, we'll see if the Cats decide to kick it, but I think they're going for two here on 18 WJTS. Once again, the Wildcat offense is going to come out. So Cats are going to go for two here.
You know, this is not an absolute must-have, but boy, it would sure make you sleep a little bit easier getting it.
I think it's Maringer, number 1 in the backfield. So they pitch it to him.
Cut up.
He cuts up, and there we go. Maringer takes it right in for the 2-point conversion.
Nice job by Jasper. Real nice.
So Jasper with a 7-point lead now with 36 seconds to go here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Jasper Wildcats put 8 points on the board after the touchdown. 2 more by the run by Grant Maringer, but younger brother, I'm not going to say little brother, younger brother, Luke Dawkins, filling in for his brother, number 23, Lance Dawkins, and the junior with a huge 22-yard run. And now we'll see what the Cats decide to do as far as kicking off the football. You sure as heck don't want to get it in Presswood's hands. He's over here to our near side at the 21-yard line right now.
Well, and we've kicked it towards the sideline. Now look how wide they're sending their guys. So this may not be a bad idea to try to send one up the squib kick down the middle. But playing it safe tonight has worked for Jasper.
Well, Sermersheim just pops it over there.
That's nice.
Look at that, and it goes into the end zone. Wow. Yeah, because again, I think it's the strategy. It's like, okay, kick it over to that area. If it goes out of bounds, fine. But, oh, man, what a great kick by Sermersheim. Very impressive.
Yeah, that was the time to pull that out. Now, you can't blame North for playing what they, the way they did. Usually your up guys are by the hash marks, but they had them out there by the numbers because that's what Jasper's been doing all night, very consistent. So, coach is thinking the same thing we're thinking. But, well, I tell you what, that kick by Sermersheim, keeping it in bounds, punch it right over his head, just beautiful. Now, if Jasper can stay away from the big play, we're in business.
All right, so number 5, Ethan Broady's got to go 80 yards.
We're playing too deep.
But he's got Presswood in open field, and if he can break a tackle or two, and there he goes, and he actually stops the clock, and they're going to say he got out of bounds there at the 38-yard line, so quick 18 yards there.
Yeah, there's no doubt that's the man they're going through. I mean, he has been the man for them all year long. So, should Jasper send a spy with him? Who knows? But, little stuff like that, we still should be in pretty good shape.
So we're at 28 seconds, and Jasper decides to call a timeout. They want to make sure they got the defense straight there. So Coach Lewis is going to gather his troops over there. So we'll take a break. 23-16, 28 seconds to go. North's got the football at the 38 here on 18 WJTS. All right, we're back once again here. Ball at the 38-yard line. 28 seconds to go. North's got to get a touchdown. They trail by 7.
All right, who steps up for Jasper? Who steps up for him?
There we go. Now there we go, making a stop. And who is it? That's Schneider, of course.
Gee, there's a name I didn't think you would say.
I got to take that back. It's Jacob Potts. Okay, number 58. So, but good job though. Regardless, the defense makes the play, and we got another timeout. So we'll take another commercial break. 23-16, 21 seconds to go. It's second down. All right, so second down and 10. Ball at the 38. 21 seconds.
North's selling out. 5 wide outs. Jasper's gets some pressure.
Oh, they slow him up by getting on his jersey. Now he throws it out of bounds, and he will catch that out of bounds. So incomplete. So stops the clock with 14 seconds to go.
Now he had an opportunity to turn it up and get some good yards and step out of bounds. But, at 14 seconds, you can't lose any time. So he just kind of wheeled it. But North is just going empty backfield right now, and we need just to play some safe ball right now, not let anything get behind us.
Low snap. Tries a quick hitter out here to Mitchell, and Mitchell runs out of bounds, and so that's going to stop the clock with 9 seconds to go. I think they're just trying to get into Hail Mary range maybe.
That won't work. We'll give them that all night long.
All right, so it's 4th down here.
Hodgson and Schneider are doing a really good job of getting penetration in that line and making this quarterback move his feet.
All right, so 9 seconds, 4th down.
There's a hold right there, no call.
Pressure after the quarterback. Now he's just going to chuck it out there, and it's going to fall incomplete. He did not catch it in bounds.
Well, they said
so
that
actually Jasper will get the football on downs.
He did pull it in. They just said he was out of bounds.
Right. So the defense does the job. North actually had an 18-yard pass play that got him to the 38-yard line, but then third and 10 and 4th and 5 and not able to convert. So Jasper's going to win this football game.
Yeah, but you said it earlier, even in our breaks where we were talking about the mistakes and stuff that Jasper's made. That unsportsmanlike where he stood over and tried to be Superman after making an outstanding play. What is sweetness? Old Walter Payton used to say, act like you've been there before.
Right.
And that was just a penalty. And their coach was saying before the game about penalties killing them, and gosh darn it, got him in the end.
All right, so man just has to take one knee, and the Cats are going to win this football game 23-16. So 2-game losing streak is ended right here with a big win on the road against a very scrappy North football team, and a North football team with a great weapon tonight in Capolton Presswood, but the Cats are able to keep him at bay here in the second half and win it 23-16.
A really, really impressive win by Jasper when you take into consideration that Lance Dawkins was out of the game. So they had to change things up, and, man doing that, getting the first down there when he was real close. We had, 2-3 measurements, in the fourth quarter. So
right.
Even though we didn't make the big play, we got enough to get the first down and able to continue to move the ball. And what happened in those last drives? Mistakes went by the wayside. No penalties, not killing penalties, and we didn't put the ball down. Man started to really tuck the ball up into himself and not let it get pulled out like he did in the first half. But, 3 weeks in a row, Jasper's had the ball at the end to do something special, and it's really nice to see them on the road at number 5A North climb that mountain and get the W and do what they needed to do towards the end.
Well, and the thing is, with the Wildcats' 2 scoring drives there in the second half, key plays really. And on the first one, you had that 3rd and 7, and then you got Luke Dawkins running for 16 yards to keep that drive alive, and then eventually scoring the touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion going to Connor there. And so that made it 15-9, but then North came right back and was able to take a 16-15 lead. And really the big play on that one was a penalty, because you had the pass interference on 3rd and 9. So that kept their drive alive, and then eventually they were able to score there. So really the 2 things that made the difference in this game were penalties against the defense.
Yeah, we had talked about, in the first half, how both teams were just killing themselves with the silly mistakes. But Jasper was able to clean up enough to get done what needed to be done. And when Dawkins got that ball out there, when he took it into the end zone, there was no doubt that he was not going to be denied, because he hit that side and he was just running about as strong as I've seen him run all year.
Right. No, he did an outstanding job. Again, Lance did not play the second half, and Luke just with some really big plays there in that fourth quarter to help the Wildcats to this big win. So we'll take a look at the numbers here. Jasper, 58 offensive plays for 282 yards. And against North, who had 49 plays, 212 yards. But again, the Wildcats mostly coming on the ground with 262 yards in rushing yards, led by Blake Mann with 135 yards. Lance Dawkins had 56 in his first half action, but then Luke Dawkins 56 in the second half on only 5 carries.
Well, I think in the Dawkins household that Lance, even though he's the older brother, may be doing some of Luke's chores. He at least owes him that, Luke got us that touchdown to give us the big W. But as you've seen with the stats, just like the Central stats, the Castle stats, they're so even. It's just those silly things that's going to get you. And you alluded to it was the 2 defensive penalties that really shot them in the foot.
Yeah.
And, hey, Jasper did what they needed to do. It's a great win getting on the road. In your 3-game gauntlet, you didn't want to drop all 3. They didn't. Get a big win, go 7-2 in the conference, go into sectional with Central coming to the house. I like their chances.
Well, yeah, that's right. We still got Vincennes next week, and that's going to be senior night. And Cats finally getting back home. But, again, it's Vincennes. It's always a rivalry game, so you got to be ready and you got to be prepared and play a good football game that night.
That's true, but I like our chances on senior night.
All right, so, again, the Jasper Wildcats with a big 23-16 win and coming on the road. So this road trip, 3-week stretch there. They finished 1-2 during that stretch, and but still 6-2 in the conference right now. And just taking a look as far as where Central was playing tonight. They were at Castle, so that obviously was a tough matchup. And coming into tonight, Central was 7-0 on the season. Castle 5-1. Of course, they did not play that game against I think it was Bossy earlier this year. And then North 5-2, Jasper 5-2 coming into tonight. So Jasper at least will be in 3rd place.
Yeah, the big thing about it is, as far as the coaching staff, you drop 2 in a row. You have a game plan. Okay, this is what we want to do here. But you just throw your hands up and say, guys, I don't care how we have to do it, but we have to have a W.
Right.
It doesn't matter if we capitalize on a penalty, a fumble recovery. Doesn't matter. We have to find a way to win. And on the road, in a 5A school, Jasper found out how to do it tonight, and I really think this moves them with some good momentum going forward.
Right. Okay, and again, we already know where we stand as far as the sectional draw. It's going to be Jasper against Evansville Central, and that will be at Jasper to open up the round there. And then actually North, there's only 4 teams in sectional 15. They're 5A, so they will play Bloomington North, and then Castle will play Bloomington South there. So, but again, right now at this particular point, you're not going to win the conference. Unless Central loses tonight and loses another one, then we might have a co-championship situation there. But, again, you're getting ready for the postseason as far as, you're going to finish out the season, obviously, with Vincennes. But you're thinking, hey, again, what can we do in the postseason? We played with Central, and, of course, the other teams in it with Wrights, Harrison, Northview, and Evansville Memorial, Those other teams, we've beaten 3 out of 4 of them.
Well, you would get a little bit concerned with Vincennes, and I agree with you. It is Vincennes. It's always been a scrap. But you would think of Vincennes as possibly as a trap. This is the last game of the road series. We got Central the week after at home in the sectional. People are going to be looking forward. But the thing about it is, to me personally, it's senior night. And
right.
I cannot imagine that Lance and Pope and Chanley and man, they're going to let the guys down. You got Day out there, you got Berger out there. You got too many good seniors to let this fall apart. You definitely want to get your last game under your belt in the end of the season, but it's senior night, and you definitely don't want to lose that. So I like Jasper's chances and going into the Central game with a couple of wins under their belt.
All right, so Jasper wins it 23-16 down here at Evansville, or I guess we're down here, right?
We are down here.
Evansville North.
Yeah.
All right, so a big win for the Wildcats tonight. So for Bob Welp and Jeremy Markos on the video, my name is Craig Schneider. This is Wildcat Football here on 18 WJTS. Good night.
This has been an 18 WJTS presentation of Jasper Wildcat Football.